reset the music then. Alright, here we go.
Do you want to invite me to the Skype combo, or?
I was just going to use TeamSpeak here. Alright, here we go.
You don't want to shoot video?
No, I was just going to put a thing, because I don't have the green screen or anything. The bedroom's kind of a mess. I was just going to use the spinning Tales of Tyria logo, since I think it's going to only be like 10 minutes or so anyway.
Okay.
Alright, here we go. Third time. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tales of Tyria Midweek Fireside Chat. I will be your host, Bridger, and joining me for this Midweek Fireside Chat is Freelancer. Welcome, sir.
Hey, what's up, Bridger?
We're all calm and cool in our... We've got our cigars on our nice armoire. Wait, that's not a chair, is it? That's a thing where you keep clothes. We're in a nice chair by a fire somewhere, in a cabin. It's snowing outside.
Oh man, but we have some important news to bring up to you guys, which is why we're throwing this little audio tidbit for everybody. It's a lot of you guys look to Tales of Tyria for all of your updates regarding Guild Wars 2, but probably more importantly so because we give you the straight talk that you sort of appreciate. So
the inside baseball, as it were.
Yeah, the hidden trades and stuff, right? Like in sports, you like to hear about all those players being traded back and forth. Anyway, going off topic.
Yeah, we're gonna, just so people don't freak out, we're definitely coming back with a full show on the 27th at 7 p.m. EST. That has not changed. This is not a replacement for that show, so don't go crazy. But we did have some information that is time sensitive, and that's why we're having this little show before the 27th. So I guess you get more bang for your buck here. So Freelancer, what is this new information? We got a lot of new information from ArenaNet recently, and it has certainly caused some stirring.
Right. So more recently, if you guys have not heard about it yet, ArenaNet made the announcement that paid transfers are officially coming to a server near you on, I believe, the 28th exactly. Now, along with this, you have guesting, you have other various things, but this is, we don't normally make these little midweek shows. I don't think we have before, and it's important to get this out there any way we can to help you guys out, and so you can spread the word that this is sort of a big deal. What this means for you and your guild, and it's affected Team Legacy, me and Bridger, and it's changing everything. It has the whole community in a flux. This means that after the 28th, if you wish to transfer servers, if your guild is thinking about transferring, your buddies are talking about joining your server, if you got, whoever, you will actually have to pay. We don't know the currency rates or anything like that yet, but we do know that you will have to pay for that via gems. So this is affecting a lot of things. Now, this should be noted, part of this little public service announcement is that guesting is also introduced during this little update coming on the 28th. So,
what is guesting, Freelancer? What does that mean?
Okay, well, guesting essentially is, all right, Bridger, you know how if we want to play, we will right-click each other and say join an overflow server, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay, and that works to a large extent for dungeons and stuff. You can essentially join somebody's party and then therefore join them in the dungeon. Now, what guesting is, it is actually allows you to focus a particular server. So let's say that, I'll throw out an example here. Let's say I'm in Team Legacy, but I have a friend over on a Oceanic guild that's in Sea of Sorrows, for example. And I want to be able to join those friends. Well, previously you had to kind of finagle the overflow system, and in order to join up with them, this guesting system will allow you to very specifically play on other worlds other than your home world. The actual process for you guys, even though this is an audio podcast, we actually have the show notes that will be attached to this with the official ArenaNet images showing you how to do this. What you would need to do is go to the character select screen, go to world selection, and then click guest. And basically what this does is instead of having to join an overflow server, in order to get with your buddies, you can actually just guest on that server. So as soon as you log in, you are on that server. So I can right click and click guest, and my buddy's on Sea of Sorrows, so I click Sea of Sorrows, and then I am essentially guesting for Sea of Sorrows. Now, what this does for everybody, so you know, is allows you to essentially play as if you were on that server for PvE. Now, what it does not allow you to do, Bridger and everybody else, is play World v World. So, for those that are concerned that, oh, well, this will allow everybody to guest whichever server and play World v World, ArenaNet has that covered. You are not going to be able to do that. That said, you are able to guest pretty much on any world you want. I don't think there's any limitations
The
aside
only
from the fact that
limitation is
yeah, I
region,
believe
right?
you is region, right? So you still are not going to be able to guest on a European server, which does come to the dismay. I can hear it now from you guys listening. You really wanted to be able to join your European buddies and stuff, and I'm with you there. But they have not enabled that feature yet. You will still be tied to U.S. servers or European servers or wherever you might be. And yeah, so that said, Bridger, for those of you that wait after the 28th to transfer your guild or transfer yourself, because not everybody's transferring guilds. Sometimes you just want to join another friend of yours in real life and they happen to be on another server. It will cost a gem fee. We know that for certain. Now, we know that this gem fee will be based on essentially the population of the server. So if Bridger, for example, is on Sea of Sorrows and he decides to join me on whichever server I am on, he will be paying a gem fee that is based on the population of my server. So if I'm on a really high pop server, he's going to be paying more in gems than he would if he joined or tried to transfer to a lower population server.
I even remember they gave numbers back a long time ago when they first started talking about this system. And I could swear it was somewhere around 400, 800, 1200 for low, medium, and high pop servers. I could be wrong on that. Maybe somebody in the chat remembers better than I do, but I think it's somewhere around that range. I'm guessing it's going to be somewhere between $5 and $15. It probably won't go higher than that, but that's just speculation on my part. So, what does this mean for Team Legacy and the people that want to that like enjoy playing World v World with us in our community?
Well, this is actually kind of exciting. Bringing that up is the fact that with the guesting system, what you're allowed to do now is essentially join a server that has your PvE guild. I'm sorry, join a server that has your World v World guild that you like running with. So, for example, if a lot of you guys are fans of watching me and Bridger, in World v World or whatever, you are able to join our server and then at any given time guest your own server to do PvE with all of your buddies. Now, for somebody that is in a guild that does World v World consistently and PvE, then obviously your options are limited because you will want to be on the server that does World v World. But what this really means for Team Legacy is we have decided to make a move. A lot of servers, including Isle of Janthir, the server we were on, are in a pretty crazy situation. They have guilds that are basically being told that if we don't transfer now, then we lose our shot, or we pay a lot of money to transfer. So Isle of Janthir has had over 17 podcasts that
Did
I
you
know
say
of.
17?
17, yep. Already transfer off to other maps, or I'm sorry, other servers, and so we're kind of here sitting, scratching our heads, and I'm not gonna tell any fib. We thought about transferring in the past, but when this big announcement came up to either transfer or you have to pay for it, that kind of throws a lot of guilds in a quick rush on what do we do, what do we do. So after seeing a lot of these guilds transfer, a lot of our friends, and really nothing as far as complaints to say about any of them, they're all awesome Isle of Janthir guilds. We have also decided, you know what? In the end, we are a World v World, community. All of our guys love running World v World, and we need to go to a server that's going to accommodate that instead of basically staying on a ghost town. So I think we've officially voted as an entire guild to move to Kaineng, and that was basically due to the competitive community that's over there. we're not really a big hardcore World v World guild anymore, but we want to make sure that whichever server we go to, we would be welcomed first off, and secondly, we would have kind of a fun environment to play in, and I think that's where we ended up voting for.
Yeah, I mean, there's no good reason. I mean, there's no reason to switch that isn't, some kind of issue for people. Nobody likes switching as a general rule. Switching servers is usually a last ditch effort to solve some kind of a problem. In our case, the first time we did it was because the queues were so long we couldn't play the game. So it's like if we got
Oh man,
70, 80 people
yeah,
and 10 of them can get in to actually play, well, that's a huge problem, and we have no solution to that problem other than switching servers. And then,
right.
the other time, we had some problems with other guilds and harassment, and it's a situation of, well, if the server we're on doesn't want us there, it's not going to be an enjoyable experience.
Right. So the first time we moved, it was queues. I think that really hit everybody, and we weren't the only ones. We were just obviously we're out there and we're pretty public, so that was a big thing. The second time we had to deal with a particular guild, and it really came down to the decision. I mean, Bridger, you were there at that time. To do we want to enjoy the game or do we want to play hardcore World v World? And you really had to choose one or the other. And in the end, it was like, you know what, Guild Wars 2 is Guild Wars 2. It's certainly not going to be our last MMO. And we really just want to be able to enjoy ourselves. So that's sort of what made that second decision there. This decision, I think, for a lot of guilds, which is why there's 80 plus transfers going on right now that I've just seen between guilds or between servers. It's a decision of you have to make an assessment of your current server, and essentially, Bridger, you have to say, and this is to all of you guild leaders out there as well. You have to say, is this the server that I want to be on for the next foreseeable year, 2 years, 3 years, however long you plan on playing Guild Wars 2? And a lot of guilds, and I place no blame on them. I really don't on any of the guilds leaving servers. They have to make the decision. Are they getting along with people in their server? Do they feel like they are making the right decision to stay or leave? And of course, as me and Bridger will always tell you guys, speak with your guild members. It should not be a decision of just the leadership because, at least in our philosophy, it was an entire guild vote. It should be something that all of your guild members have a say in because it does affect them too. If they make that call and if the guild leader makes that call and it's something rash, it unfortunately affects all the other players down the road that find themselves in that situation. So.
Now, Free, Isle of Janthir has a high population. Is a couple of guilds leaving? Is that really going to change the face of World versus World that much?
Yeah. So I'll tell you the funny thing about that, Bridger. Isle of Janthir is listed as a high pop, sometimes full pop server. I don't know if it's still full pop, but it's mainly due to the PvE community there. So, as many people talk about the World v World communities they have on different servers and how organized they are and how they use their team speak and such together, I've actually, a lot of the TL members and others have had the chance to witness Isle Janthir's organization with PvE rating. Like the way we would get organized for Eternal Battlegrounds, they do the same for getting organized Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and other nights for like Cursed Shore, and it's amazing. Now we tried for the longest time to get those members to kind of bring their organization to World v World, but it really comes down to do you enjoy PvP or do you enjoy PvE? And you can't fault guilds, which obviously one of the largest groups being on Isle Janthir, you can't fault them for choosing PvE. And they've pretty much nicely said we're not gonna get too involved in PvP like World v World. And with all of the remaining World v World guilds already leaving, that kind of leaves no option to really organize World v World at all. That said, being a high pop, sometimes full pop server on Isle Janthir, if you can imagine myself having a conversation with somebody from another server trying to convince them to come to Isle of Janthir, when they go to look at that server list, I mean, if you're running a 200, 300 man guild and let's say I somehow convince you to join Isle of Janthir, which I've had a lot of good talks with other guilds from other servers. it's really a risky business when you look at the server and you see it full or high, or actually be very high in most cases, and then saying, well, how do I transfer my 300 guys or 400 guys to this server? And even if I do, what kind of support am I going to get from the people already there? And that's really like a hard one to swallow because of, the demographics of Isle Janthir.
So I guess that pretty much wraps up this short discussion on that. Just wanted to make sure everybody in our community was aware that we're moving to Kaineng,
Kaineng, yep.
Kaineng, and so that if you want to follow us, you can. But if you only really care about PvE stuff, you don't have to follow us. You really can just follow us by guesting, which is going to be an awesome feature that we've been waiting for quite a while. So we
Yep.
have. We have all that to look forward to. We have the guessing, we have the World v. World changes. We're going to talk a lot more about all the updates that we've heard in the past couple of days on the actual Guild Wars 2 show. Let's see, on the 27th, which is
Yeah,
about
we
10 or
will
so days
be
from now.
yeah, we'll be breaking down all of the movements, how things have changed, talking about the World v. World updates, which are, if not released shortly after, we'll be discussing that. But the whole point of this little quickie thing for you guys is just to say, hey, look, this is what we're up to, and now you do have the chance of, if you're in a PvE guild, that just runs PvE, and you've always kind of wanted to joke along or run with any of the cast here at Tales of Tyria, you are now able to do that. I mean, obviously we all run under teamlegacy.net, and you can apply there. But this new guesting feature does allow you to join us on Kaineng if you wish to do World v World, and then pretty much for the other server that your original guild is on. And that's what this is all about. But it's just a little quick announcement for everybody out of respect. Last time we transferred, last couple times, you all voiced your opinion that you had wished we said something on the podcast. And this is me and Bridger's way of saying we love you guys and we're going to do exactly what you had asked. So that's what
So
it's
you
all
got
about.
10 days from now, from the 18th when we're releasing this. I'm going to put it on YouTube. I'm going to put it on the blog. I'm going to put it on the podcast feed. So hopefully everybody has time, if you would like to switch over to Koenig to play World v World with us.
Yep.
And there are plenty of people that have accused us in the past of, oh, you're only server hopping. This has been leveled against tons of guilds. Oh, you're just server hopping because you want to play on the best server and you're just gonna bandwagon and take credit for it later. And I would point out that Koenig is currently rank 17 right now. We're leaving a rank 8 server to go to a rank 17 server.
Well, not
That's
only that.
clearly not the issue at hand. But I know that's going to be leveled against us again anyway.
Oh, but yeah, of course. But I mean, trolls are going to be trolls. We joined Isle of Janthir, which was never intended by anybody to be a top tier server. The idea of joining Isle of Janthir was to help out this server that was falling in ranks and sort of try to bring them up. Now, granted, we can't take full credit for helping out. There were a lot of great guilds in Isle of Janthir, and everybody from Armored Fist to Run to UA, Avatar, all of them were great guilds. I mean, we joined a dying server, so you can't really say, that's our ambition. But as it is now, Isle of Janthir will always be one of the top PvE servers to be on. So, for those of you listening that may have just picked up Guild Wars 2 over the holidays and you just enjoy PvE, I don't think there's anything better. I just wanted to clarify real quick before we pop off, Bridger, that while you join us on Kaineng, you are able to guest to do PvE on other servers. But keep in mind that if you if you actually are on another server, you are not able to guest and play World v World on whichever. So
Yeah.
if you join us on Kaineng, you can run World v World with us nonstop and then play PvE with any other server in the US you'd like. But if you stay on your current server, you can join us for PvE events, which me and Bridger will likely be doing, but you will never be able to join us for World v World. And that's just kind of what we want to make sure everybody knows. Not only just for Team Legacy if you wanted to run with us, but also for if you're running your own guild, so that you know exactly how that system works.
Absolutely. We're going to try and I have some ideas for like a great naked raid on like Metrica Province or something. Like everybody level 80 go full naked and just try and have like this swarm of people go take on like the fire elemental or something. That would be fun. We could do something like that in the future, and because of the guesting feature, we can have everyone join us. Instead of having to limit it and say, oh, well, you have to be on our server. Like, it's been very disappointing that we haven't been able to do things like this with the entire community in the past.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this guesting system. Now what we can do is on Tales of Tyria announce a big PvE fun night for everybody listening to the podcast to guest on our server, and there's nothing to it. You just guest, and we can do some crazy event like that. And the reason we're throwing out the message about joining us on Kaineng is because I know there's a lot of listeners out there that you're in a PvE guild, and you want to be part of something like that that's a little bit more organized but laid back at the same time. We don't have attendance requirements or anything like that. We're actually a bunch of relaxed people, but we carry that competitive mindset, and a lot of people love it in the way we execute tactics and such. But we're also training, for Elder Scrolls Online. That's a big title for us. We're already very, very organized for that and getting even more organized. And we sort of use Guild Wars 2, not only to help the server we're currently on in Worldly World, but also to train for Elder Scrolls Online, because we don't see it as just a one MMO or one game type ordeal. It's definitely sort of a community thing. We like building that history. So it's what it's all about.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening to our little update here, and hopefully we will have, well, we definitely will have a lot more for you on the 27th. So if you can stop by the channel, it's at twitch.tv/Tales of Tyria, and that is at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the 27th. We might have a few new co-hosts to introduce to you guys. We've been running through the interviews, and I've got a couple of good names picked out. We've still got a couple more people to talk to, so that's going to be very exciting. We'll meet some new people. We'll talk some more Guild Wars.
About that. So, I mean, have you already spoken to some of them?
Yeah. 6 or 7 or 8 different interviews over the past 3 or 4 days. I've still got a couple of people that have been contacting me on Skype trying to set up a time for me, and I've got at least 2 names of people that I've been very impressed with and am looking forward to having on the show.
That's awesome. All right, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Bridger, you got anything else?
That's about it. I think we're ready to head on out here. So thank you guys for joining us on this midweek fireside chat, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys again. We've got some great, exciting new things coming up for you on the wings that are sort of under construction, like the lion statue and Lion's Arch. Maybe by the time that's completed, we'll be able to reveal ours. Have a good night, everybody.